afternoon. I'm Kathy Cavalieri, and as president of the Westborough Historical Society, I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for coming to this dedication. I'd also like to thank the Westborough Civic Club for their participation in creating this memorial bench, their partnership. And I would also like to thank the DPW for installing it. While there's no existing gravestone to Nahor Rice here, we believe that he was buried in one of the western corners of this cemetery. This bench, like the gravestones, faces west and the setting sun. I would also like to note that as the first person buried in this 1704 grave plane, Nahor's burial here was an early marker that the Westborough Town Center would eventually move to this location. Families like the Rice family, farms like the Rice family flax field that was at the current high school site were already locating nearby. And paying respect and visiting the grave sites of loved ones was an important part of life. I'd like to thank our board member and program chair, Christina Allen, for coming up with the idea of this memorial bench and doing the work to see it to completion. So thank you very much, Chris. And Chris will now speak.
Thank you. It's wonderful that you all are here at the dedication of the only bench in the oldest cemetery in Westborough. This memorial cemetery in the heart of Westborough is one of the town's most important landmarks. Walking through the cemetery and reading the Puritan gravestones dating back to the 1700s gives our community members an understanding and an appreciation for the first settlers in Westborough. The original carvings on the slate gravestones represent the dawning of the earliest Puritan folk art. This burial ground is an invaluable open-air history art museum in our town. As noted, the first person to be buried here was 5-year-old Nahor Rice in August 1704. He lost his life when Mohawk natives from Caughnawaga, Canada, kidnapped his 2 brothers and 2 cousins while they were gathering flax on the site of the present high school. The tribes needed boys because their numbers had been diminished by war, disease, and a low birth rate. Nahor was considered too young and little to make the walk to Canada, so he was killed on the spot. Although the famous diary of the town leader, Reverend Ebenezer Parkman, who is buried right there, indicates that Nahor was buried, quote, in this grave plain, no gravestones remain that commemorate the earliest Rice family. We don't know exactly where Nahor was buried, but we thought it most appropriate to recognize his brief life with this memorial bench. Here, people can rest on the new bench, learn about Westborough history, and pay their respects to the first families in town. None of this would be possible without the generous donations of the Westborough Civic Club and the Westborough Historical Society. We also owe the siting of this bench to the wonderful cooperation, professionalism, and hard work of our DPW, headed by Chris Payant, with Derek Sari helping and Mike Shannon directing its installation. Westborough is extremely fortunate to have Mike Shannon and his crew to be in charge of maintaining this historical heart of our town. He does it and his team so beautifully, and we're indeed lucky to have this open-air history art museum. We're hoping that this will become a place where people walk downtown and stop and rest and learn and enjoy. As part of the master plan, which is bringing people downtown, they now have another reason to come down and have a place to sit. I'd like to invite now Civic Club Representative Walt Leslie and then Select Person Shelby Marshall to say a few words.
Thank you, Chris. I have the honor of representing Westborough Civic Club members today, as our president, George Grosner, was unable to attend. First, thank you, Chris Allen, for your ideas, leadership, and energy that has made this beautiful bench a reality. I think you really spearheaded this, and it was great. Thank you to the Westborough Historical Society for being a partner in our community. Civic Club members have annually supported Historical Society programs for many years. We have co-sponsored initiatives together, such as the Minuteman Park Memorial installed last November, and this bench today. When community groups collaborate, the town wins. We also would like to acknowledge and thank our Westborough DPW, as you mentioned, who has assisted our club on many installations of the benches you will find around town. And finally, this bench is a wonderful example of what I call $3 at work. Residents that purchased a tree at our annual sale, yes, they came home with a beautiful balsam fir tree for the holidays, but here you can see the longer lasting results of the tree sale is now our community has a bench that will last for decades. And now, Shelby Marshall.
Thank you so much. Again, echoing thanks for all who are attending this event today and for the opportunity to offer a few words as a member of our select board. My name is Shelby Marshall, and it is my honor to serve as one of your 5 representatives on the board. As Chris already mentioned, this bench provides a quiet place, a place for personal reflection or perhaps reflection of our history, a place to build community through a conversation with a friend or perhaps an opportunity to offer a seat to a new face and a friend not yet known. Thank you to the Westborough Historical Society with Chris Allen's leadership and passion for this project, and the Westborough Civic Club for the donation to make it all possible, and of course DPW, not only for the work here, but for all the work that they do in all of our cemeteries, which are, as Chris mentioned, really outdoor art museums, capturing not only our history, but beautiful works of art on the carvings. We are fortunate to have volunteers in our community who are enthusiastic and are dedicated to preserving and recognizing our history. Through education, events, and creation of enduring memorials such as this, we have opportunities to reflect, celebrate, and learn from our history, and we can always learn. So thank you so much for the opportunity to speak, and congratulations to all involved. All right, everyone come together. 1, 2, 3. Yay!
Welcome and sit. I'm so glad now that you're all here, and encourage everybody who probably don't even know that this cemetery exists, that there's a place for them to sit and a place for them to learn right in the middle of town. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Shelby, you're going to be so in the short.
Yeah, it's perfect. Great time. Great job.
Thanks.
We waited for the bell to ring. So we know it was 5.